place where it shouldn't. My friend was asking and your name arrived before I caught it at the door of my mouth and sent it into the room between us. She paused the way people pause when names arrive that weren't expected in the conversation. And I said anyway and kept on talking, and she was kind enough to follow me. Your name out loud in a room where it didn't belong. Arrived like something I've been holding too long. The kind of letting go that happens sideways before the person doing it is chosen. Out loud by accident, loud by accident. Your name in a sentence that was meant for someone else. Out loud by accident, loud by accident. The mouth that hasn't learned to go around you says your name, says your name. In the middle of a Tuesday afternoon. Out loud by accident, loud by accident. By accident, by accident. I covered it with context that almost worked and redirected toward the safer territory. And my friend, to her eternal credit, let me turn the corner without making it a thing. But the name was out there in the room regardless, living in the air between us for a moment. Your name in someone else's afternoon where it didn't belong and where it landed anyway. Your name out loud in a room where it didn't belong. Arrived like something I've been holding too long. The kind of letting go that happens sideways before the person doing it is chosen. Out loud by accident, loud by accident. Name in a sentence that was meant for someone else. Out loud by accident, loud by accident. Your mouth that hasn't learned to go around you said your name, said your name. In the middle of a Tuesday afternoon. Out loud by accident, loud by accident. By accident, by accident. By accident. The room out loud. By accident, by accident. And in the accident something true. Still on my tongue. By accident. Out loud by accident, loud by accident. Name in a sentence that was meant for someone else. Out loud by accident, loud by accident. The mouth that hasn't learned to go around you says your name, says your name. In the middle of a Tuesday afternoon. Out loud by accident, loud by accident. By accident, by accident. Out loud by accident. A mutual pose is something that contained you, and there you were with hair I didn't recognize, cut differently from how I knew it, in a way that suited you and hurt me equally. The haircut is a symbol of the timeline of the version of you that exists without my input. Who makes decisions about hair and everything in the months I'm not in contact with? You look good, I said to nobody, in the way you say things to a screen in private, and then close the post and close the app inside with the new haircut in my memory. I saw it online, saw it online, the haircut that belongs to who you are now. I saw it online, saw it online, and you look good in a which is the kind of thing that is nobody's fault. The algorithm surfacing without intention, the information I hadn't sought and couldn't unsee. You look good was the truth and also the problem. The truth that you're becoming someone I don't know, who makes decisions without consulting the past and looks good in all the new decisions. You look good, I said to nobody, in the way you say things to a screen in private, and then close the post and close the app and sat with the new haircut in my memory. I saw it online, saw it online, the haircut that belongs to who you are now. I saw it online, saw it online, and you look good in a way that cost me something new and changed, the version of you that's moving without me. I saw it online, and you look good, and you look good, the haircut, and you look good, the new version. I saw it online, and you look good, and I closed the app, and you look good, and sat with it. I saw it online, and you look good. I saw it online, the haircut that belongs to who you are now. I saw it online, and you look good in a way that cost me something new and changed, the version of you that's moving without me. I saw it online, saw it online, and you look good, and you look good, and you look good, and you ain't changed, and you look good. I saw it online, and you look good. I almost canceled it the way I sometimes do, and then not going feels easier than the going. And I'd found half a reason to reschedule, and then I put my coat on and I went. The showing up is often the whole thing, before you know whether it was worth the showing. And by the time I was there, it was already done. The hardest part, which was the getting out the door. The appointment that I kept despite not wanting, required only the coat and the leaving. And what it gave in return for the coat and leaving was more than the staying would have offered. Showed up anyway, despite the half reason I had for rescheduling. Showed up anyway, the coat and the door and the getting there. Made it there, the showing up there was the whole thing. Showed up anyway, I went, and it was what it was, and I was glad I went. Not because it was extraordinary, but because the ordinary of the having gone is better than the ordinary of the having stayed. I've been keeping the appointments more than I once did, which is a quiet kind of progress that I'm counting. The code in the door and the getting there is evidence of the direction I'm going in. The appointment that I kept despite not wanting, required only the coat and the leaving. And what it gave in return for the coat and leaving was more than the staying would have offered. Showed up anyway, despite the half reason I had for rescheduling. Showed up anyway, the code in the door and the getting there. Made it there, She said something kind about the work I'd done, and I received it without the usual cancellation. The version where I find the flaw and name it before the compliment can reach the place it's aimed at. I said thank you, and I held the thank you without the follow-up that undoubts the holding, and felt the compliment arrive in the place that compliments are meant to arrive in. The deflection is a habit that protects nothing except the version of me that doesn't deserve good things. And I've been working on the version that does, by practicing the thank you without the follow-up. This time I didn't deflect the compliment, I let arrive without canceling. This time I didn't deflect the thank you without the but that follows. Receive and keep the care that comes in the form of someone's words. This time I didn't deflect, I kept it and carried the compliment into the afternoon, which is what compliments do when you let them. They travel with you into the rest of the day and warm it in the way that warming is needed. I'm learning to receive the kind things as part of the building of the person I'm becoming. The person who believes the kind things when they're offered, instead of editing them into something smaller. The deflection is a habit that protects nothing except the version of me that doesn't deserve good things. And I've been working on the version that does, by practicing the thank you without the follow-up. This time I didn't deflect the compliment, I let arrive without canceling. This time I didn't deflect the thank you without the but that follows. Receive and keep the care that comes in the form of someone's words. This time I didn't deflect, I kept it. The compliment, I kept it without the but. This time I didn't deflect, and carried it. I kept it into the afternoon. This time I didn't deflect. This time I didn't deflect the compliment, I let arrive without canceling. This time I didn't deflect the thank you without the but that follows. Receive and keep the care that comes in the form of someone's words. This time I didn't deflect, I kept it. Receive and keep, I kept it. Didn't deflect, I kept it. I moved the couch on a Saturday afternoon for no reason except it was time to move the couch. And then the chair and then the bookshelf followed, and by evening the room was a different room. There's something that happens when you rearrange things that makes the same space feel like a new decision. The same walls holding a different configuration that you chose without consulting the previous version. The room is the same room with different sight lines, and I sit in it now and see things differently. Not better necessarily and not worse, just from a new angle that I chose for myself. Everything in new places. The room I rearranged on a Saturday afternoon. Everything in new places. The same space from a different chosen angle. Move and stay. The rearranging that keeps the things I have. Everything in new places. Mine now. My friend asked why I rearranged it, and I said because it was time, and that was true. But the fuller answer is the room felt like before, and and I needed it to feel more like now. And now is what I'm building towards slowly, room by room and week by week and morning by morning. And the couch in the new position is one piece of the version I'm assembling for after. The room is the same room with different sight lines, and I sit in it now and see things differently. Not bad necessarily and not worse, just from a new angle that I chose for myself. Everything in new places, new places. The room I rearranged on a Saturday afternoon. Everything in new places, new places. The same space from a different chosen angle. Move and stay, move and stay. The rearranging that keeps the things I have. Everything in new places, new places. Mine now, the new positions. Mine now, the Saturday decision. Everything in new places. Mine now, the room. Mine now, from a new angle. Everything in new places. Mine now, everything in new places. New places. The room I rearranged on a Saturday afternoon. Everything in new places, new places. The same space from a different chosen angle. Move and stay, move and stay. The rearranging that keeps the things I have. Everything in new places, new places. Mine now, move and stay. Mine now, everything in new places. Mine now. I removed your name the night we ended and thought that was the end of something. But the number lives behind my eyes, in the place where important things refuse to leave. 3 months and I could dial it in the dark without a single moment of confusion. The brain keeps what the heart needs to release, and mine apparently needs you still. I tell myself I moved on past this. I tell myself it's getting easier, but 2 in the morning with the phone in hand, I know the number and I know the lie. Your name still lives in the part of me that doesn't listen to reason. Your name still lives in the space between the contact and the call. Saved or not, saved or not. The heart has its own filing system. Your name still lives in me. I've composed the message 17 times in different tones and lengths and levels of honest, and none of them have made it past the drafts, because sending requires more than I have left. The version where I say I miss you simply sits beside the one where I pretend I don't, and neither one is close enough to true to justify the terror of the send button. I tell myself I moved on past this. I tell myself it's getting easier, but 2 in the morning with the phone in hand, I know the number and I know the lie. Your name still lives in the part of me that doesn't listen to reason. Your name still lives in the space between the contact and the call. Saved or not, She mentioned you in passing at the dinner, the way people do when they forget to calculate. And the table kept on moving past your name while I held it quietly beneath the conversation. I nodded like a person who is healed and asked a question I already knew the answer to. Because hearing something secondhand is different from knowing, and I wanted to hear something. She said you seem okay, and I said good. And what I meant was thank God and also no. Tell me more and tell me nothing. Tell me something that I can survive. She mentioned your name, mentioned your name, and the whole dinner rearranged around 3 syllables. She mentioned your name, mentioned your name, and I spent the rest of the night holding them. Okay, okay, the word that covers everything and nothing. She mentioned your name, mentioned your name, mentioned your name, and I held it. I held with the dishes afterward too long, and thought about the information I collected, that you were somewhere being okay at something in a city that contains your ordinary life. And I am somewhere being okay at dishes, and the gap between those two okay descriptions is the same gap that has always been between us, just visible now that I have confirmation. She said you seem okay, and I said good. And what I meant was thank God and also no. Tell me more and tell me nothing. Tell me something that I can survive. She mentioned your name, mentioned your name, and the whole dinner rearranged around 3 syllables. She mentioned your name, mentioned your name, and I spent the rest of the night holding them. Okay, okay, the word that covers everything and nothing. She mentioned your name, mentioned your name, mentioned your name, and I held it, and I held it all the way home, and I held it through the door, and I held it in the dark of my own room, and I held it your name, and I held it. She mentioned your name, mentioned your name, and the whole dinner rearranged around 3 syllables. She mentioned your name, mentioned your name, and I spent the rest of the night holding them. Okay, okay, the word that covers everything and nothing. She mentioned your name, mentioned your name, mentioned your name, and I held it. And I held it, okay, and I held it, your name, and I held it. When you were there and I was here between us, we're 8 hours in an ocean and a phone, and the calls would cut and reconnect and cut, and we called it workable and it was not. The missing that a jet lag quality, the tiredness of loving across a distance, and I was never sure which version of the day you were living when I called you in the night. 8 hours means that when I'm having dinner, you're already in tomorrow in your bed, and the gap between our timelines was bigger than the ocean between our cities. The time zone between us, between us. 8 hours that turned everything sideways. The time zone between us, between us. Your morning was my night and nothing seemed. Calling away, calling away. The unreliable connection that we called enough. The time zone between us was too much. We traveled longer than was probably wise, because love doesn't adjust to time zones willingly, and we had something real enough enough to hold on to through the cuts and reconnections and the hours. But real and holdable don't always mean sustainable. And the ocean knew what we were slow to learn, that distance isn't workable by love alone. And love alone is not a time zone solution. 8 hours means that when I'm having dinner, you're already in tomorrow in your bed. And the gap between our timelines was bigger than the ocean between our cities. The time zone between us, between us. 8 hours that turned everything sideways. The time zone between us, between us. Your morning was my night and nothing synced. Call and wait, call and wait. The unreliable connection that we called enough. The time zone between us, between us was too much, was too much. The ocean was too much. The 8 hours time zone between us was too much, was too much. And we were now was too much. For the distance, time zone was too much. Time zone between us, between us. 8 hours that turned everything sideways. The time zone between us, between us. Your morning was my night and nothing seemed. Call and wait, call and wait. The unreliable connection that we called enough. The time zone between us was too much. Was too much. Call and wait. The time zone was too much. We hadn't spoken in 8 months when she called, and we picked it up exactly where we left it. The way that certain friendships do across the gap, as if the gap was just a pause and not a distance. She didn't know the details of the recent months, and I gave her the summary without the full weight. And she received the summary with the old warmth that I'd forgotten existed until it arrived again. The friendship that resumes without the effort is a kind of proof that some things hold their ground through the distance and the months and the not talking, and come back intact when the talking starts again. We picked up where we left, where we left. The friendship that survived the gap without trying. Up where we left, where we left. The warmth that was still there after 8 months. Old and true, old and true. The kind of friendship that doesn't need the maintenance. We picked up where we left, where we left. We picked up. We talked for 2 hours about everything and nothing. The way you talk when you have the time and the person. And by the end I've been reminded of something about who I am when someone old enough knows me. The old friend holds the longer version of you, the one that predates the recent and the current. And talking to her I could feel the longer version of myself participating in the conversation. The friendship that resumes without the effort is a kind of proof that some things hold their ground through the distance and the months and the not talking, and come back intact when the talking starts again. We picked up where we left, where we left. The friendship that survived the gap without trying. Up where we left, where we left. The warmth that was still there after 8 months. Old and true, old and true. The kind of friendship that doesn't need the maintenance. We picked up where we left, where we left. We picked up 8 months, like no gap. Picked up where we left, and I remember we picked up who I am in the longer view. We picked up where we left, where we left. is the specific gift of the open morning. And I didn't fill the open with the usual feeling. I just let the morning be the open thing. It was the coffee at my own pace, and the window chair, and the light that moved across the floor without schedule, and the hour that passed without the checking of the time, because the time was not the point this morning. The slow morning is the practice of the unhurried, the counter-programming to the usual pace, and it requires the nowhere to be until 11, and the decision to honor the nowhere until then. Nowhere to be until 11, until 11, the morning that belonged to no appointment. Nowhere to be until 11, until 11, and I didn't feel it with the usual feeling. Slow in mind, slow in mind, the hour that moved without the check-in. Nowhere to be until 11, until 11, until 11. By 10 I read some pages of a book and watched a bird outside the window briefly, and had a second coffee without urgency, and felt the specific luxury of the unhurried. And when 11 arrived I was ready for it, in the way you're ready when you've had the morning, not depleted by the rushing toward the ready, but actually ready from the inside out. The slow morning is the practice of the unhurried, the counter-programming to the usual pace, and it requires the nowhere to be until 11, and the decision to honor the nowhere until then. Nowhere to be until 11, until 11, the morning that belonged to no appointment. Nowhere to be until 11, until 11, and I didn't feel it with the usual feeling. Slow in mind, slow in mind, the hour that moved without the check. Nowhere to be until 11, until 11, until 11, until 11, the open morning until 11, and I honored it. Nowhere to be until 11, oh, until 11, and when it came, I was ready. No, no, oh, until 11, nowhere to be until 11, until 11, the morning that belonged to no appointment. Nowhere to be until 11, until 11, and I didn't feel it with the usual feeling. Slow in mind, slow in mind, the hour that moved without the check. Nowhere to be until 11, until 11, until 11, until 11, until 11, nowhere to be until 11. I gave an address I don't actually want, the one that leads to home in empty rooms, and pressed my face against the taxi window and watched the city offer its alternatives. Every lit up window looked like someone's life, and I collected them like evidence that people exist in warm and ordinary ways that I have somehow managed to miss out on. I could tell them to stop anywhere, I could step out and start again, but the meter runs and I keep going back to the place I'm trying to escape from. Take me somewhere else, somewhere else, not the address I gave you, somewhere different. Take me somewhere else, somewhere else, where the night is something better than this waiting. I say yes because the route is fine. It's the destination that I'm questioning, and that's not something taxi drivers fix. The radio plays something I half recognize from a time when evenings felt like possibilities, and now they feel like distances between me and the version of my life I thought I'd have. I could tell them to stop anywhere, I could step out and start again, but the meter runs and I keep going back to the place I'm trying to escape from. Take me somewhere else, not the address I gave you, somewhere different. Take me somewhere else, where the night is something better than this waiting. Keep driving through every street that isn't where I'm going. Take me somewhere else, somewhere that doesn't know the shape of what I lost, somewhere that I haven't been before. The cost of loving someone who left. Take me somewhere else, anywhere but back. Take me somewhere else, not the address I gave you, somewhere different. Take me somewhere else, where the night is something better than this waiting. Keep driving through every street that isn't where I'm going. Take me somewhere else, somewhere else, somewhere else, somewhere else. Keep driving somewhere else, anywhere but back, somewhere else. The badge says 47 and I stare at it. The way you stare is something unbelievable. 47 things that needed my attention while I was in the meeting about the meeting. I scrolled through them with the triage of experience, the ones that are urgent and the ones that feel urgent, and the ones that will resolve themselves by Tuesday if I look away long enough and don't engage. When did I become a person with 47? When did the number stop feeling like a crisis and start feeling like the ordinary Tuesday? Volume of a person in my role. When did I get here? When did I get here? The 47 notification person. When did I get here? When did I get here? The inbox that requires daily archaeology. Scrolling triage, the management of everything that needs me. When did I get here? When did I get here? I don't know. I deal with the urgent and defer the rest, and file the ones that are someone else's problem. And by the time I've cleared enough to breathe, there are 11 new ones from the breathing. I remember when an empty inbox felt achievable, the morning of a person with a smaller job. And now the inbox is the condition of the role, and clear is something that happens to other people. When did I become a person with 47? When did the number stop feeling like a crisis and start feeling like the ordinary Tuesday? Volume of a person in my role. When did I get here? When did I get here? 47 notification person. When did I get here? When did I get here? The inbox that requires daily archaeology. Scrolling triage, the management of everything that needs me. get here? I don't know. Four hours of motorway with the radio low and the thinking that happens in the white noise of driving, and you in approximately all of the 4 hours in the background of every other thought I had. The long drive is where I process things, the uninterrupted space of moving somewhere where the destination doesn't matter much, as long as the moving has enough time in it. By hour 2 I've been through the inventory, the things I wish I'd said and didn't, the things I said that I wish had gone differently, and the version of us that got through all of it. I thought of you the whole way, 4 hours of motorway, and you and all of it. I thought of you the whole way, the long drive that was long enough for this mile by mile, and you're still there at the end of the 4 hours. I thought of you the whole way, the whole way. But hour 4 I'd arrive somewhere different, not at the destination but inside the thinking, the version of the thinking that has moved from the acute to something more considered. And I drove the last stretch with a different quality of you in the thinking than the first hour had. The same you but in a slightly different light, which is what 4 hours of motorway can do. By hour 2 I've been through the inventory, the things I wish I'd said and didn't, the things I said that I wish had gone differently, and the version of us that got through all of it. I thought of you the whole way, 4 hours of motorway, and you and all of it. I thought of you the whole way, the long drive that was long enough for this mile by mile, and you're still there at the end of the 4 hours. I thought of you the whole way, the whole way, the whole way, the whole way, you and all of it. I thought of you the whole way, and arrived somewhere changed by the driving. I thought of you the whole way, thought of you the whole way, 4 hours of motorway, and you and all of it. I thought of you the whole way, the long drive that was long enough for this mile by mile, and you're still there at the end of the 4 hours. I thought of you the whole way, the whole way, the whole way, the whole way, mile by mile, the whole way. I thought of you the whole way. The project started in the spring of 2 years ago, and has been almost finished several times since then. The goalposts moved the way that goalposts move. Whenever finish starts to feel achievable. I've made a version version of my piece with it, the project that has become a permanent feature of my professional landscape and my calendar, the recurring meeting for the ongoing thing. I used to think in terms of project completion, now I think in terms of project management, the managing of something that continues beyond the scope of what completion means. Will it ever end? Will it ever end? A project that has outlasted its own deadline. Will it ever end? The recurring meeting for the ongoing thing. Phase by phase, phase by phase, the endless project and its patient stakeholders. Will it ever end? Will it ever end? Will it? Someone new joined and asked about the timeline, and I gave them the answer I've developed, which involves the word ongoing used professionally, and the phrase we're making good progress, which is true. We are making good progress toward a thing that keeps becoming a slightly different thing, and the progress is real and the progress is continuous, and the end is somewhere that I believe exists. I used to think in terms of project completion, now I think in terms of project management, the managing of something that continues beyond the scope of what completion means. Will it ever end? Will it ever end? The project that has outlasted its own deadline. Will it ever end? Will it ever end? The recurring meeting for the ongoing thing. Phase by phase, phase by phase, the endless project and its patient stakeholders. Will it ever end? Will it ever end? Will it? The ongoing thing. Will it? The phase by phase. Will it? I believe it. Will it? Will it? Somewhere ahead. Will it ever end? The project that has outlasted its own deadline. Will it ever end? The recurring meeting for the ongoing thing. Phase by phase, phase by phase, the endless project and its patient stakeholders. Will it ever end? Will it ever end? Will it? Will it ever end? Phase by phase. Ooh. Will it ever end? Will it ever end? Will it? You apologized in the way that covers some of it, the version that acknowledges the surface, and I received it in the way I receive things, when the thing received is not quite what I needed. The half apology has a specific quality that the full one doesn't have, and the absent one doesn't. It's the shape of the thing without the substance, the gesture toward the place where the gesture belongs. I said thank you because something had been offered, and thank you is the only available response to something that is offered in good faith, even when the faith is only half the thing. Not quite enough, not quite enough. The apology that got me halfway there. Not quite enough, not quite enough. The version that acknowledged some, but not the all. Half and half, half and half. The gesture toward the thing without arriving. Not quite enough, not quite enough. But something I've thought about, the full one that I needed, the version that would have reached the place, and whether it exists somewhere in you, or whether half was all there was to give. And I've decided that the half was probably genuine, amending the other half would require more access than you currently have to yourself. I said thank you because something had been offered, and thank you is the only available response to something that is offered in good faith, even when the faith is only half the thing. Not quite enough, not quite enough. The apology that got me halfway there. Not quite enough, not quite enough. The version that acknowledged some, but not the all. Half and half, half and half. The gesture told the thing without arriving. Not quite enough, not quite enough. But something, but something. The half something. I received it. Not quite enough, but something. And thank you, something, for the half. Not quite enough. But something. Not quite enough, not quite enough. The apology that got me halfway there. Not quite enough, not quite enough. The version that acknowledged some, but not the all. Half and half, half and half. The gesture told the thing without arriving. Not quite enough, not quite enough. But something, but something. Half and half. But something, not quite enough. But something. Yeah. I'm writing the document that explains my job to someone who will do it while I'm gone. And finding in the writing that it's harder than I thought to explain the thing I simply do. The institutional knowledge lives in habits, the shortcuts that have no official name, the knowing which approval needs the other approval that the manual doesn't mention because nobody wrote it. The handover document is always insufficient because the job contains more than documents. The relationships and the read the room and the time and the things that only come from doing it for years. Explaining what I do, what I do. The document that doesn't quite contain it. Explaining what I do, what I do. The years compressed into the pages. Page by page, page by page. The knowledge that I carry without knowing. Explaining what I do, what I do. In writing, I add a section called things I forgot to mention and fill it with the things I keep remembering. And then a section called things you'll figure out, which is the honest admission of the limit. And send it and feel strange and then relieve the way you feel when something's out of your hands. And wait to see what questions the doing generates that the document entirely failed to answer. The handover document is always insufficient because the job contains more than documents. The relationships and the read the room and the timing, the things that only come from doing it for years. Explaining what I do, what I do. The document that doesn't quite contain it. Explaining what I do, what I do. The years compressed into the pages. Page by page, page by page. The knowledge that I carry without knowing. Explaining what I do, what I do. In writing, the insufficient document. In writing, the things I forgot to mention. Explaining what I do. And what I do. And what I do. In writing, holiday ended and the Monday came with the particular Monday of return. I've been away for 2 weeks and the inbox have been extremely busy in my absence. I spent the morning reading what had happened, and by the afternoon I was current again, and by the evening I was tired in the familiar way that the holiday had briefly cured. The holiday effect lasts approximately as long as it takes to read through the return inbox, which is roughly 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on the holiday and the inbox. Already tired again, tired again. The holiday of memory by 11. Already tired again, tired again. The return that takes me back to where I left. First week back, the decompression of 2 weeks decompressed. Already tired again, again. I told myself I'd pace the first week better and come back to the office as a changed person, a person who rested and reflected on the ways they like to do this differently. And I did come back as a changed person briefly for approximately the first hour Monday, and then the inbox and the meeting and the Tuesday reassemble me into the person who left. The holiday effect lasts approximately as long as it takes to read through the return inbox, which is roughly 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on the holiday and the inbox. Already tired again, tired again. The holiday of memory by 11. Already tired again, tired again. The return that takes me back to where I left. First week back, the decompression of 2 weeks decompressed. Already tired again, again. The inbox again, the familiar tire by Tuesday, like I never left. Already tired again, already tired again, already tired again, tired again. The holiday of memory by 11. Already tired again, tired again. The return that takes me back to where I left. First week back, the decompression of 2 weeks decompressed. Already tired again, First week back again. Already tired The budget for the thing I need is insufficient, and the person who controls it is explaining why. And the explanation is correct in its own context and completely unhelpful in mine. I've been in enough of these to know the pattern. The ask is bigger than the budget available. The negotiation that lands somewhere in the middle that is not quite what you needed. The numbers that I work with are not mine. I work within them like a person in a room whose dimensions were decided before they arrived and change according to processes above them. Numbers I don't control. The budget meeting and its predetermined ending. Numbers I don't control. The allocation and the justification. Work within the constraints of what the numbers say is possible. Numbers I don't but work with. I came prepared with the justification document and the business case and the supporting evidence, and the person listened and said interesting, and the number moved by 12% in my direction, which is the victory that budget meetings offer. The 12% when you came in needing 30, and I took you with the gratitude it merited, and planned the thing within the 12%. The numbers that I work with are not mine. I work within them like a person in a room whose dimensions were decided before they arrived, and change according to processes above them. Numbers I don't control, don't control. The budget meeting and its predetermined ending. Numbers I don't control, don't control. The allocation and the justification. Work within the constraints of what the numbers say is possible. Numbers I don't control, don't control, but work with the 12%, but work with the room I have. Numbers I don't control, work with and make it work. Numbers I don't control, but work with. Numbers I don't control, don't control. The budget meeting and its predetermined ending. Numbers I don't control, don't control. The allocation and the justification. Work within the constraints of what the numbers say is possible. Numbers I don't control, don't control, but work with, work with, work with. Numbers I don't control, but work with. You said you're coming, then you actually came, which sounds like the minimum, it was the maximum, given the history of promises in this and the history of what they turned into. I planned for the night coming the way I do, prepare the version of okay with absence, and then you came and I didn't know what to do with a promise that arrived without the precedent. There's a version of receiving the kept promise that should feel better than it actually does, and the not quite better is information about the distance between the promise and the trust. You actually came, the kept promise that I hadn't quite believed in. You actually came, and I was grateful and also not quite sure. Thank you and then, the complicated gratitude of the surprise receiver. You actually came, you came. I've been thinking about what the coming meant, and whether it's the start of a new pattern, or whether it was exceptional in ways that mean the next one goes back to the usual. The trust is a thing that rebuilds slowly in the instances of the thing working, and one instance is one instance, and I'm trying not to make it more than that. There's a version of receiving the kept promise that should feel better than it actually does, and the not quite better is information about the distance between the promise and the trust. You actually came, the kept promise that I hadn't quite believed in. You actually came, and silence after you said what you said was the loudest thing I've ever heard. Louder than the saying of the thing itself, which I could process while it was being said. But the silence that came after the saying had a volume that the saying hadn't had. And I sat in it without knowing what to do with a room that was suddenly full of quiet. The silence asked questions that the words hadn't, about what comes after and how and when. And I didn't have the answers to the questions, and the silence knew I didn't. The loudest part was the silence that arrived after you said it. The loudest part, the room that filled with quiet all at once. After the words, the silence that was louder than the saying. The loudest part was after. I've tried to reconstruct the order of it, what you said exactly and in what tone, but the silence has overridden most of it with its retrospective noise. The silence is the thing that lives most vividly, not the words that generated it. And I return to the silence more than the words in the months of carrying both. The silence asks questions that the words hadn't, about what comes after and how when. And I didn't have the answers to the questions, and the silence knew I didn't. The loudest part was the silence that arrived after you said it. The loudest part, the room that filled with quiet all at once. After the words, the silence that was louder than the saying. The loudest part was after. Was silence was after the loudest thing. The loudest part was after. The words was after. The room full of quiet. The loudest part was the silence that arrived after you said it. The loudest part, the room that filled with quiet all at once. After the words, the silence that was louder than the saying. The loudest part was after.